Aquarius. Hey, I'm here to do your mirrored moon read where we're dropping into the energies in play for you during this very significant initiatory lunar cycle that got kicked off with a full moon in Capricorn on June 21st and will culminate also on the 21st and in Capricorn with a full moon in July. So this is an interesting energy we're moving through, especially with Jupiter in Gemini and Mercury in Gemini. Jupiter is going to be in Gemini for a whole year. So there's a lot of stuff that is kind of coming in a very like mirrored sort of way. There's a lot that's also tinged with a bit of glamour. We're starting to get into the real meat of the work to be able to differentiate between our shadows, our subconscious fears, and what really is the real deal. We're giving it an opportunity at this time to get through some of our illusions that have been keeping us tripped up, held up. I feel like you are about to face a storm, all right? I think you feel a storm is brewing. I don't think that you're afraid to go through the storm. I think you understand it's a necessary cleansing. I got the song by the Doors, Riders on the Storm, coming in, Rider on the Storm. I said riders, though, so perhaps you're not alone on this ride as you ride out this storm. It's something you have to go through in order to cleanse away whatever was creating blockage in a situation, in order to also have a necessary release. I feel there's a purification that comes here. It may be around something that needs to be spoken. I do feel like you're about to take a really significant action. I feel like you are protected in this dragon coming in very strongly for you. Right. So I do think that this is some point of fortune favoring you at this time. If you are bold, all right, I do think that there is an element of risk involved. You might be going into the center of a storm. You might know that there's going to be a lot. Ooh, and with that, there was a bird that flew from the north to kind of like the southeast here. You might know, and then just with that, from the south to the northeast, another bird forming a cross. Interesting. This is like crossroads action. You're preparing to actually take a step out of the crossroads. You've been weighing something up in the balance, and perhaps you've been, held at that crossroads point, perhaps by somebody who has you by the crosshairs, I have to say. Because it seems like two of you are riding out this storm, but I feel like you got the spear of Lu. There's some action you're about to take. It will require you to be brave, right? You are going to have to be brave, but I think you're going to be able to enter that eye of the storm. And while everything may be stirred up around you, there's a sense of inner calm about what you're doing because you know it's what you're meant to do. I also got this strong message that came in for you that to not take this action is to betray yourself. And perhaps you recognize that you've been in a certain position, or you've been adhering to a certain path or a particular course of action that at one time seemed to you like the right course of action. And now you're starting to recognize that continuing to stay loyal to a particular road is actually to betray yourself. And I feel like you got this dragon energy coming in for you. There's a certain treasure that is meant to be yours that needs to be protected. You do have to stand up for it. You do have to face this challenge. You need to ride out this storm. And I think that you're going to do it with great success. I really do feel that. There's a strengthening of your energy that is coming in here. You could also be dealing with somebody that was born in the year of the dragon of Chinese astrology. You might want to look into Chinese astrology as well, since it is the year of the wood dragon, and just see what is being influenced in your different sectors there. The chart works a little different with Chinese astrology. I'll put up a link in the comments of this video after it airs to give you a little guidance about where you may want to look and get some insight. I know of a few really good Chinese astrologers that can help point the way to navigate that. It's definitely not my area of expertise, but I feel like you may feel like that too with the energy coming in. Like I'm not sure how this will go. This isn't really my area of expertise. I don't feel totally confident in this. And yet there's this sense that you're really ready to take the bull by the horns in this situation. You could be dealing with somebody born in the year of the ox in Chinese astrology. You could be dealing with somebody that has a strong Taurus placement. You may need to rely on your Taurus placement to have that sort of stubbornness, to just see your way through to the other side of something. All right, let's check it out and let's see what is coming in for you here. This is for any significant Aquarius placement or if you have a prominent placement in 11th house. Likewise, if you have Leo rising, that makes you an Aquarius descendant, and you may find a lot of resonance with these messages. What we got on the bottom of the deck here? Yeah, you're realizing that you need to open up this particular road. Okay, see, there's two of you stuck there. And I think you're ready to take flight. You're not willing to stay in another round of this particular karmic cycle that you've been locked in. You do recognize that something needs to shift here. With the Two of Wands, I feel like this is going to require that you take a step, right? A lot of times when people are in the crossroads and they feel like they have no way to get themselves out of a stuck position, they sort of bemoan their fate and they feel like they have no free agency over that. But you do. The simplest way to get out of the crossroads is to take just a step. Just take a step, any step, something that moves you out of your current locked position, all right? And this is what gets that wheel turning. This is what gets the world to turn so you're not in this stuck place anymore. There's something here too about maybe keeping some distance from somebody who might catch you up, who might want to block this action that you're about to take here. You might have been taking a little space for yourself to get some clarity here about what's needed and what you really want to create moving forward. Maybe you went hiking, maybe you spent some time up on a mountain. The mountains might be calling you. You might be preparing for a little time to sort of just drop in alone, get yourself centered before you prepare to take a certain action. All right, let's see what's coming in here for you. Aquarius. What is coming in for Aquarius during this particular lunar cycle? What is coming in for Aquarius spirit? What is this initiatory gateway that they are moving through? What's on the road up ahead for them? What's coming in for Aquarius? There's something about the doors of perception too, right? You might feel like you're sort of heading through different layers of what you are recognizing were illusion or faulty perceptions of a situation you were dealing with, okay? Yes, the high priest is there. So this is an initiation for you. You are starting to get in touch with a deeper sort of knowledge, awareness, navigation. Your intuition is really peaking at this time. And you are sort of keeping this very, very much, to yourself here. There could be a Pisces in connection with this situation. And with this, we got the Queen of Swords. Okay, so butterfly clan energy coming in there, Libra energy coming in. Also Gemini, Aquarius, this is your energy as well. You see, there's some truth you're aligning with where you're recognizing if you don't take the risk to sort of like break out of this holding pattern, it's almost like breaking out of a shell to like spark new life. You've been in this place where you felt stuck, or where you felt like it wasn't possible to break out of whatever kind of constriction you've been feeling. And you've been holding yourself, containing yourself, maybe even holding something in, and you recognize, I can't do that anymore. It's time to transform. It's time to get your wings. It's time to fly. Right? This might even involve like leaving your usual environment. This might involve uprooting yourself. This might involve a new home. And with the lilies here, we also have remembrance and recognition of the past, making peace with the past as well. Something is being transformed here. The sun is setting on one time in your life, so the sun can rise on a new chapter that wants to come in for you. Right? And I think you're really trusting your intuition in regard to this. It's always like that when a butterfly earns their wings, right? It's like they just only have so much time to take flight and experience the freedom of that transformation. You know, it's a limited window. There's something about this, like you have a limited window here. It's almost like it's got this image of you have to transfer, you know what I mean? It's like you're at that crossroads, and I'm almost seeing it. I don't know why it's coming through like this, but it's almost coming through like a railway. And you know, it's like at a crossroads, this railway, and there's your connecting train is coming on through, and you have to make that connecting point. If you don't make that connecting point, you're going to get stuck up here a little bit longer. I feel that. And with that, we got the Page of Pentacles here. Right? There's something that you're learning here. You're just entering this place of rebirth with that bat medicine there, right? This is an initiation. There's a little bit of having to move through some darkness. And also we got to think with bats, you know, the way that they pick up the signals, it's like that radar, you know what I mean? They work with that sonar kind of location system. So I do feel like you're moving in an area that's very unknown to you, and it also requires you get in touch with your other senses. You can't necessarily just stay on the surface of a situation. It's like, no, you got to dive a little bit deeper. Part of really opening up the potential of what you're meant to step into now, so you can experience this transformation and no longer be betraying yourself by staying loyal to something that you know is only holding you back from what you're meant to step into now. It does require that you have bravery and that you move into the unknown. And it's like on the other side is that sun rising. But see, first you have to move through the cave, right? You have to move through the bat cave. It's got Prometheus vibes too. It's like reclaiming that fire. Reclaiming the fire to ignite the way forward. You may be in a process of reclaiming your fire. Someone stole your fire. You need to get your fire back. It's like you have to quest for it, though. Page of Pentacles. There could be some news that comes in. It could be around an earth sign energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. It could be around a child as well, okay? Something about this sparks you to move into action, to have the bravery to actually go through this terrain so you can get to the other side where the sun shines again. I feel that, okay? Let me get some further details here for you. There's just some truth that you have to act on. You cannot sit on this truth any longer. It may require you to communicate something and to accept your purpose. And there's something about this that it does spark fear. It makes you feel a little uncomfortable. And with this, we have, look at this, the shaman. All right, so look at that offering bowl there, okay? Love the imagery. And we definitely have the sword energy. We have Frog Rock there, the answerer. So I think that you need to ask the tough questions. And it's possible that you need to ask the tough questions of yourself. We don't really think about that when we think about Frog Rock, when we think of the answerer, the sword of truth, right? It has the power that is only activated from pulling it from its sheath and pointing it at the individual that we need the answers from. And sometimes that might be from ourselves, you know? Mm-hmm. And that's very interesting. I just heard live by the sword, die by the sword. And it sort of made me think of when we betray ourselves and we don't actually take action on what we know is true for us, that in a way we sort of cut off our life experience. It's already like we're moving through life on autopilot. We're kind of like zombies, you know? We're not really alive. We've already created this space for us that's very confining. We've created a rut for us, and the only difference between a grave and a rut are the dimensions. You know what I'm saying? And so there's something here where you're getting the bravery, you know, to finally act on a truth. I do feel it involves action because it does require the motivation of the fire, which is to act, to do, not to just sit on something. So I feel like there's a two-part thing coming in here. I do feel like you're asking some tough questions. For some of you, it may be somebody that you need to ask some tough questions, and you're going to like sort of gauge their response to give you all the information you need. Maybe you've been waiting for an answer from a particular individual for a while as well. I could see that. And there's something here you need to recognize that, you know, not receiving that communication or not getting an answer to a question is an answer. And there's something here about just trusting your impetus to move forward in this regard that works out to your benefit. It gives you a brand new beginning and it's tangible. It gives you a seed to plant for your future. You take this action and it will activate the stone of destiny for you. The reason why it activates it is because it puts you in integrity. When you're not acting and you're not following your heart and not following what you know is true for you, then you end up compromising your integrity. And there's some new beginning that you want here, but something must be sacrificed. It's got that vision of a sacrifice. Something must be sacrificed for the world to be born anew and for you to have this new beginning that activates your destiny. All right. You could be connecting with a teacher. You could be connecting with a shaman. It's possible for some of you. You may have a character that is presented to you on your path. They come as a shaman, all right? They awaken some shamanistic gift within you. Mm-hmm. They might be teaching you something about how to root something in material reality. You may be learning the art of alchemy through a deeper understanding of the elements, of elemental theory here. This could be somebody much older than you that comes in an unlikely form, you know? Somebody you wouldn't really expect to be like a shaman, a medicine man, a medicine woman, but they are. It comes in an unlikely package, I say. And there's some kind of offering, there's some kind of sacrifice that's made at the crossroads. It could be a particular toll that needs to be paid, something that needs to be balanced out. It sets you free. But I do feel like it comes with this like guidance, this test, this challenge from a teacher showing up on your path. What's this crossing energy here? Ooh, look at that. That's beautiful. The Lovers, Gemini energy, Temperance energy coming in there as well. The water, the earth, the balancing point. Something's nurtured, makes all things grow. Okay. There's lotus flowers there too. No mud, no lotus. 2033 on the clock. There's something you are going to see a lot more clearly. We also have crane medicine coming in here as well, which is all about grace. So there's something that you're meant to come into alignment with. And I feel like it's a source of reflection, okay? It's a source of self-reflection. It's also a certain blessing of alignment that comes when you are able to find your way through the dark wood. This is about getting to the place of the clearing where there's refreshment. You know, there's something here that it fills you. It fills the coffers where you've been kind of fumbling around in the dark. There's something here that actually gives you sustenance for the road ahead. When I think of storms, I also think of clearing rains, and the rains have to come down in order for there to be the growth, the fruition, you know, things coming into bloom. No mud, no lotus. I think you've been through the mud, but grace is showing you how to get to the transformation point. And it looks like there's a very significant soulmate waiting on the other side of that. Somebody who balances you out. Your energies together spark growth. Okay, one more round of this, and then I'm going to pull out another deck for you. What does Aquarius need to know about this? What's coming in for Aquarius around this? What does Aquarius need to know about this transformation point? You could be dealing with somebody that has strong earth and water in their chart as well. Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Right? You may have really learned a lot from looking into this mirror of the other. It could be somebody that has earth and water strongly activated in their chart. Woo, and a lot came out with that, okay? 4 Pentacles, bottom of the deck energy, crossroads energy here. What do we got? In the reverse, 9 of Cups, Empress in reverse, Sire of Cups in reverse, Death in reverse. Oh, somebody's been trapped on Fantasy Island. That's what it looks like. Something felt like wish fulfillment, and now there's a recognition that it was trapping. It actually caused a loss to the keys of the kingdom with the Empress in reverse here, okay? And with the Sire of Cups, there was some kind of manipulation, some kind of glamour here. Somebody's trapped on Fantasy Island. It's got those vibes. And something does need to be brought to an ending here, but the ending has been resisted. Resisted because of being kind of caught up in the glamour, caught up in the illusion, caught up in the fantasy. Resisting out of fear of letting go and going with the flow, even though you don't know quite where you're going, you know, just to be able to enter that water, you know. It's unfamiliar territory because you can never step in the same river twice. So it's like once you step in, you know, you got to just let it carry you. You might have some fear about relinquishing control. Maybe you thought there was some sense of control and you're starting to wake up that you kind of like been caught up in an illusion. It's got a little bit of Hall of Mirrors sort of energy here. And there's something you're wanting to reclaim here. You're wanting to reclaim the keys to the kingdom because you recognize you've been stuck here on Fantasy Island. And this new beginning in what would fulfill your heart is not allowed to come into fruition. There hasn't been growth here. Do you see? Look how small it is in comparison to who you really are. It's like you're making yourself smaller in order to stay where you're currently at. You have to make a sacrifice of this illusion in order to reclaim the keys to your kingdom and move out of fantasy island and accept the ending, accept the loss, accept that you can't continue to whip a dead horse. It's just not going to come back to life. It's not going to revive itself. And in fact, by you continuing to kind of go through these motions, being loyal to this, you're really keeping yourself stuck here. Not just you, but there's others stuck here as well. Okay. Could be somebody born in the year of the horse that's stuck here. There could be a Sagittarius that's stuck here. There could be somebody born in the year of the dog that's stuck here. You know, something that it's like well overdue to release this tie. Let it go. What have we got here? Yeah, wow, look at this. Yeah. The construction of the future here. You got your orders from spirit, like you're meant to transform this. In fact, there could have been something that's been held up here since 2012, 2013, because that's the last time Jupiter was in Gemini, I have to say. And there's associations there with the Mayan calendar back then, 2012, 2013. During that period, you know, there was a lot of focus with the collective on the fact that the calendar was running out. A lot of people saw it as like the end of the world. So it's interesting because that didn't happen, right? It was just the start of a new cycle. And there might be part of you that's sort of staying where you're at because it feels like so threatening, like the end of the world, like something's coming to almost like a fatalistic end here, like you've built it up to be something other than what it is. And actually you're living in this illusion. It's like the ending is in staying in the illusion. That's what cuts off your creative life force energy. That is what cuts you off from this fulfillment that you're meant to step into. You have to let the storm come. Look at that. You have to accept the ending with the 10 of Swords. Yes, and where that one, you know, dragon was, you know, kind of holding you up and weighing you down. I see that, you know, you're shedding that old form. I feel like it's the part of you that's kept you small. Maybe because of another, maybe because of a false sense of loyalty to another, some self-perceived guilt, something like this. Maybe because it just felt safer with the Four of Pentacles. But there's something here that it's time to just ride that lightning, man. I feel like you need to ride that lightning, and it's going to be an electrifying experience for you. And on the cut of the deck, we got the High Priestess here and the Fool. Wow, look at that. Gateway of initiation. You got to trust where you're being led. With the Hierophant coming in, that's big, like spirit energy saying it's time. It's time to enter the portal. You either enter the portal and birth your new chapter, or you stay stuck here in no man's land on Fantasy Island waiting for a rescue. You know, there's something here that you need to resolve. And it does involve you leaving behind a couple that maybe you've been loyal to, but you have your own desires for some sweetness you want to bring into bloom in your life. And you do have to, like, you got to earn your wings. You got to take that leap and trust that you'll sprout wings on the way down. And you got the endurance you need to see this through with White Tiger there. It's like, pace yourself one step at a time. To move out of the crossroads, all you got to do is just take one step. I learned that from Yeye Louisa Tish. She taught me that. She taught me the power of that, you know? And I love working with the elders, okay? So again, I do feel like maybe you got some elder coming into your life. Somebody that you wouldn't expect to be able to impart some kind of deep roots wisdom on you. I mean, I think of Yeye Louisa Tish, and I think of that kind of mana, you know. She's just like a treasure. She's a treasure, and she has so much value to share. So many keys that unlock so many doors. It's like she shares something so simple, right? And there's layers upon layers upon layers of depth to it. And I feel like that's what's coming through for you here. You know, this is uncharted territory for you, but you got to trust yourself to move through this particular passage. And it really is that simple. People stay stuck at the crossroads for a long time, and they say they're trapped, or they say they're bound, or they feel held here by duty. And the reality is you can free yourself at any time you want. It just requires taking one simple step, one simple action, doing something that you haven't been doing up to this point. And it's that simple to get the energy moving. And there is this piece here, because I do feel like you've been through a lot, where it's like, pace yourself, okay? You don't need to do it all in one fell swoop. I mean, the storm clouds are forming, the rain is going to fall. But that rain falling is also what allows new things to grow, you know? The lightning is electrifying, you know? It gives you just the little bit of heat under your butt to get you moving, man. And it also provides a certain shock that like wakes you up again. You know, it's almost like got like defibrillator vibes, like, you know, it's time to come back to life. It's not over yet, right? You do have to kind of break from the pack, though. I see this, okay? You have to break from the pack. It's necessary, okay? We got Aries energy there. We got Aquarian energy, your energy, very strong. Scorpio energy coming in, very strong. Taurus, Gemini. Let's see what we got. Air sign energy, Libra, Gemini, again, Aquarius. We got Emperor vibes. Oh, okay. So there is Emperor to Empress. Isn't this interesting? Isn't this interesting? Okay, again, big Aries energy, Taurus energy here. All right, Pisces energy. All right, let's check it out. I want to pull out some other cards for you and see what we got going on here. I don't know. I feel like going a bit off the beaten trail with you. We're going to pull out the Arcane BS deck here and just see if we can get some more information for you. Oh, yeah. Come on, Papa Macho. Take that bull by the horns. You've taken a licking, but you can keep on ticking, and he ain't nobody's martyr, okay? You don't need to stay hung up here at the crossroads. Use that sword of truth to cut yourself free. You got the strength, you got the muscle, you got the endurance, and you got, you know, the transportation means from spirit coming in to open your road, get you where you need to go. So you can use that spear of Lu to activate that cauldron of Dogda and bring in the fertility of your life, you know, come back to life again, open up to this new cycle. You got to be brave, man. You got to find your courage. And I do think that you have the strength to do this. This is also about rediscovering your strength. Sometimes we don't discover our strength until we feel like we've been knocked down by life. It's not until we're knocked down by life that we get the courage to actually like step up into our empowerment. You could also be dealing with an ox energy, I have to say. Okay, somebody born in the year of the ox. It's a real stubborn energy. It can be very intractable. You may feel like you're dealing with somebody who's like a bull in a china shop, okay? They're kind of just creating a colossal mess around them because they have a tendency to just rush in and only see their point of view, and they provide a lot of resistance, but there's a lot of damage that's come along the way. You might feel there's parts of you that have acted out in this way. You may feel that you're dealing with another who's acting out in this way, but either way, it's time to cut through the BS and get to the other side of it, okay? Time to get through the other side of it. I do see you doing this, okay? There is some gift here, okay? And there's somebody who's trying to hitch a ride. even as they're already, you know, claiming the prize while you're still looking for the key to set yourself free, right? We got this, you know, kind of Piscean energy coming through here. It makes me think of that parable, you know, give a man a fish, he eats for a day, but teach him how to fish, he eats forever, right? You may have stayed here because at one point, you know, somebody gave you something. It gave you a little sustenance in a time of need, all right? It gave you a little support you needed at that time. But now it's sort of like codependent, you know? It's an enabling force in your life. It's not something that's progressive. It's weighing you down. It's hitching a ride. And there's something here about you really stepping into your empowerment. Stepping into your empowerment is what brings the abundance to you. It brings you plenty. Interesting. Some of you may have tried out plenty of fishes. Isn't that like, I think that's like a Christian dating site, okay? And this could have been somebody you met on that site. I don't know why that's coming in, but it is, okay? It could be speaking to somebody here, so bringing it in. It doesn't have to be that site. Maybe you met somebody on a dating site or you met somebody online and they are very different from you, okay? Maybe you're not so traditional and this person is. You might have been taking space from this person. You might have gotten busy with them, I have to say, with the wet pants, but coming in with space death here, you know, you've been feeling the distance. You've been feeling the distance with this person. For some of you, this could be like an online sort of interaction too. You're tired of just like getting turned on, you know, over, you know, the interwebs. It's like, no, I'm actually really ready to like see you face to face, connect with you face to face. I'm tired of this space. I'm tired of this distance, you know? Yeah, some of you have been caught up somewhere where you just realize that, you know, it might have been hot at one point, it might have turned you on, you know, but you're starting to realize that the only reason why you're staying here is because you have fear. You know, you're a little scared. You're a little scared to actually allow this ending to happen and be in that space of no thingness where nothing's really developing in your life yet, and you just kind of have to trust where you're going. You have to trust the gravitational pull of what's calling you forward. Oh yeah, you're about to enter into a period of some weird ass mystical shit here. And you are the captain of this ship. You get to create whatever you want. There's that stone of destiny. I also see that like mountain energy there. You might want to go to a mountaintop. You might want to do some hiking. You may want to get away to the mountains. There's something about that that's going to give you a different view, a different perspective, bring you to a higher altitude. I feel like you're just starting this journey. You're just starting to make the climb. By the end of this journey, there's something you're really going to be proud of. You're allowing your inner sight to guide you forward. I feel like with that marigold energy there are endings that you're honoring in your life, but you know that you need to chart a new course. That wheel is on the move, all right? So you're not going to stay stuck in the same position here. And there is something here with that like elk medicine coming through. There's something you're really going to feel proud of in allowing yourself to go for this. It brings a certain attunement. There's a new vision that's awakening for you. And yeah, I don't think you have any reference point for where you're going. And that's the point. It's an initiation. You don't get to know. You don't get to know what's up on the road ahead. But it's time to feel alive again, you know? You've been separated too much from what makes you feel alive. I feel that really strongly. Let me do a cut of the deck here. And we'll pull out some more cards. Yeah, look. I think you're finally getting the memo. You've been given a birth to a skull for too long. Just sort of hit and repeat, you know, on the same old thing, but expecting a different result. And you're finally ready to like give up the ghost. Get back to what's real. Get back to your roots. Get back to the simple things in life. You know, anytime something gets a little too complicated, we know we've lost the plot on some level. You know, in some way our navigation's off. The things that really matter in life, you know, like loyalty, love, honor, truth, they're simple. They're not complicated here. And I think you're longing for a time when things were more simple. Maybe you're longing for a time where things were more real, where not everything was conducted, you know, online, where people actually really dropped in with each other, you know. They looked each other in their eyes when they communicated, when somebody shook your hand and they made you a promise, like they were true to their word, like that meant something. And I feel like you've been dealing with too many snakes in the grass, man. And you're tired of going through this cycle. And you're tired of eating yourself up over it too. Like I just had this vision of the Ouroboros there, you know? It's like, how many times can you digest the same old thing before it starts to give you a stomach ache? Interesting. And some of you, this may even involve like a physical change, a dietary change. It is all interconnected. Like the energy you channel, what you manifest in your life is only as fit as the vessel that it's running through, man. So you might be switching up your diet a little bit. Some of you are doing a little bit of visioning too. You've never done that before. Some of you are exploring, you know, mushrooms, magic mushrooms. You might want to go up on a mountaintop like the Mayans did. Hope to gaze into the face of God, get a new perspective, right? Some of you are connecting with like some kind of real like indigenous sort of spirituality. You may even be making contact with an elder from one of these traditions. Maybe even when you're somewhere out in nature. I just heard Peru, okay? So I don't know, some of you are planning a trip. You're like really getting off the grid here, you know? You're trying something you've never tried before. Could be some kind of retreat. There might be somebody who really has an issue with this good old Madam Rufflebonnet. Thinks you should be thinking a little bit more cautiously. This is too risky. You know, what are you doing? Yeah, don't allow yourself to live your life on Madam Rufflebonnet's terms, or you're really going to find that that rut you find yourself in does, you know, lead to the end of your life while you're still here living it. And that's a shame. There's no greater shame than that, all right? It's interesting. All the unusual cards want to come out for you. I'm pulling out my Shadow Light playing cards because they were begging to be looked at, Kara. Yeah. What you can't see right now is that your new beginning is hidden from you because you haven't allowed this ending to come on through. On the other side of that is a gateway of initiation. It brings new sights, new vistas your way. It also brings protection of a new beginning, a time in your life when the light starts to filter in on what's had you shrouded in darkness. Okay, so open yourself up. Open yourself up to hidden knowledge too. Don't be afraid to see the truth. Don't be afraid to see the truth in you as well. There's something about owning this that really does set you free. The truth does set us free. It leads to a powerful new beginning for you. All right, so let's see. We're going to go ahead and just do a round of the Shadow Light cards to get some further guidance for the road ahead for you. I feel like you could use some navigational tools with this terrain you're heading into. I do feel like it's something that's really unfamiliar to you. There's nervousness around it, but I think the nervousness will become more electrifying. Oh yeah, something's coming in here. I mean, that 3 of clubs is wanting to come out. It's been through a lot, right? It's been through a lot, but there's something coming in here for you that's going to move you out of the shadows. It's going to help you shatter those mirrors of illusion. It reminds me of the scene in Enter the Dragon. Okay, you did have dragon energy coming in, you know, where Bruce Lee is facing off with good old Chuck Norris, right? And they're in that hall of mirrors, and he's not sure where the enemy is. He can't locate where the enemy is. Like, where is my opposition? What's working against me here? And so to start to get a clearer view, he starts punching the mirrors. He starts shattering the mirrors. It's very powerful point in the movie, I feel, because of also the way it speaks of the ways that we are our own worst enemy at times by the illusions we hold. Wow, look at that. Your energy right there. You're moving out of some time of lack by shattering these mirrors of illusion. You finally learn what's worth standing up and rising for, and you're going to do it. All right. And there's something coming in here that moves you out of this place of being stuck in this loss and this sense of suffering and this sense of nursing wounds instead of stepping into the empowerment of healing. Again, you know, this is your energy. But it also, to me, looks like this is counterpart energy here. Somebody you're meant to come into alignment with, you know? There's some kind of illusion you have about this person that you're meant to come into alignment with. Yes, there's been some kind of illusion that's been cast here with the Seven of Hearts. There's glamour here, false glamour. This is what needs to come to an end. It's a faulty perception. Look, it's a faulty perception. There's something you've held here. With that, there was a blackbird that flew from the north to the south. Something's ready for transformation in this situation. It's a source of consternation that's kept you from investing in this direction that actually brings some kind of healing that's really sorely needed here. There might be a lot of fear around this. I do feel like you're going through a big transformation. I feel like you're just about there. There is some heaviness you shed around this that's giving you a new sort of clarity of perspective, but it's because you've broken free from some kind of illusion that's kept you stuck in what you thought was sort of like a safe place for you to heal. And there's something that you're starting to recognize. It's like, no, like anytime it comes to healing something, anytime it comes to entering that gateway of initiation, because to really come into alignment, mind, body, spirit, and especially to come into alignment with another, that in and of itself requires us to face our fear. It is the opportunity that's on offer. I think maybe in the past you just wanted it to be given to you. And there's something about, no, you have to go through the fear to get to what's on the other side, which is the love. Look at that Ace of Hearts and the light. There's something you're seeing in a new way, and you're breaking yourself free of the prisons of the mind. You're also recognizing, I do not have to stay hung up here at the crossroads. I can set myself free at any time I want. And this is what is really opening up your road here with that Three of Clubs. You finally realize that the only reason why you've been held up here, why you've been getting dragged a long, hard mile, is because of your own story you've been telling yourself. It's an illusion. It's not true. There is no opponent here. There is no opponent. There's nothing to fight here. It's like you've been fighting your own freedom. You've been fighting your own deliverance. With the Six of Hearts here in the shadow, I do feel like it's because of something you've been loyal to. Maybe it's a story you had to tell yourself to give yourself some sense of security, or to be able to like spin others, view of you in some way. Maybe you were too worried about what other people thought, maybe Madame Rufflebonnet, about where you really feel called to go. But I feel like you're getting over it, come what may. Okay, cut of the deck here. Let's see what we got. Shadow energy. Okay, so this is the next thing you have to pass through. What's been actually like dampening your fire here with the Queen of Clubs in the shadow, right? Fire sign energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. And with that, we got the Jack of Diamonds, Earth sign energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. This is what's been slowing things down. Something has been snuffing out your fire. Okay. And it's time to really face this fear instead of letting it rule over you with the 9 of Spades in the light. Don't fear the reaper, okay? Because what's on the other side is your deliverance, your fulfillment. It waits for you on the other side. You'll be amazed if you allow yourself to release this burden, let it go, drop it, step out of the darkness of the not knowing and take the risk to know by actually taking the leap. The result is instantaneous. It's amazing, really, okay? It truly is. It's amazing. But you could get yourself caught up here by convincing yourself that whatever you hitched your wagon to is where it's at when you know you really wish you would have wished for a different outcome here. It's like you've been making do. You've been making do with something you convinced yourself was your wish, all that coming in the shadow with the 2 of Hearts, just because it was an easier ride. You didn't want to face the disappointment. You didn't want to have to go your own way. You didn't want to have to feel like you were sort of ostracized or you had to represent something that might have made you fall out with others or have to deal with their judgment, you know? And in the end, you sort of cheated yourself here. But I do feel like you're about to trust, right? You're about to do the trust fall here with the 4 of Spades. And I think you are going to sprout your wings no matter what others say, come what may, okay? I do feel like you have people that are telling you not to take this risk. And it's actually the thing that turns it all around for you, okay? It does. It brings you the healing you're looking for. It brings you the integration. It's the activation point for you. Don't listen to old Madam Rufflebonnet, man. Nothing, you know, worth having ever comes easy. Rarely is it handed to you, you know? Sometimes life asks us to like prove our mettle, like step up to the plate. How much does it mean to you? Are you willing to risk for it? Let me get you an overarching theme card here. What do I want to get for you? I think I do want to get an oracle for you from the Halloween oracle here. Yeah, you know, time to get things cooking. Time to stir the pot in the best way, you know? Let them talk. Give them something to talk about, man. You got synergy coming in here for you. Forgive them. You know, forgive them. Let it go. Don't hold on to anger. Don't hold on to the resentment. Give them an opportunity too to find forgiveness for putting this burden on you. You know what I'm saying? I feel like something's been put on you that it's not yours to hold, and you got to forgive yourself for letting it go. Right? Don't let your light be dimmed out because you feel a sense of obligation. The only thing you're, you know, ever obligated to do is to be true to you and true to your path. Don't betray yourself. You betray yourself like that, you betray life itself, the gift that you were given here, right? So take the risk, man. It'll be worth it. It may take time for others to understand. Forgive them for what they say. Forgive them for how they judge. In the end, you know, the truth will be evident. I got that for you, right? Yep. This is it. You're about to do the deep dive where you're born again, the underworld where all things pause and begin again. I feel like it's time to ready, steady yourself because it's just about time to go, right? Let's see what is an overarching theme for Aquarius here as they prepare to enter this powerful time of initiation into the fulfillment of the promise of a wish you made long ago, right? It's time to go for the real deal, not the facsimile, okay? No bad cover versions of the real deal, man. Only the real deal will do for you at this time, but you gotta be real to get real, you know what I'm saying? Because real recognizes real. And look at that, eternal love. There's something here that's deep and it's everlasting. You feel it in your bones. They do too. This is rooted. It's been rooted, you know. It's been rooted since the beginning of time. It's in your, you know, Akashic records. It's something that's meant to activate right now. Love is love is love. And maybe there has been some major ending that you experienced in this connection. Maybe there is something, you know, that completely came to a close. Maybe this is a brand new chapter in a connection and it's completely unfamiliar territory. You've been through such radical transformation. You have, this other person has, to such an extent that it's like meeting the true you, the you that you always sensed. You know what I mean? You're mirroring this to each other. You're finding it within each other through allowing this connection to go through this level of a transformation, where really everything that happened before is just being shed. It's being released. It's being composted and returned to you both as renewable energy. You can get to the other side of this, I have to say. And this connection has the blessing of your ancestors as well. Right? So, tale as old as time being activated for you now. I'm going to go ahead and do a cut of the deck. Some of you may have had a loved one that passed away, a lover that passed away. You need to give yourself permission to move forward. They are giving their blessing. Yeah, they're saying don't regret. Okay? Don't regret. Again, there's this piece here about you got to give up the ghost, okay? You can't be haunted by this anymore. There's like some ending that you continue to mourn, all right? It can be symbolic. I feel like for a lot of you it is. There's some ending you continue to mourn, and it's actually the seeds of a new beginning for you, right? Don't live with regret. You got the strength to do this, and you got your ancestors behind you as well, giving you extra might. So trust what you know in your bones, because you have the ability to overcome this and come out the other side. Real strong Leo energy there too. So for Leo risings, this is a powerful message for you. You could be dealing with a Leo here. It's possible, right? It's time to prepare. What are you going to do? I don't think you're just going to give up. I don't. I see you going for it. I see you taking the risk to rise.